Hey guys, it's Clovis, and today I'm going to talk about Lucky Charm as a civil ability in Divinity Original Sin 2. This is actually one of my favorites. So, your main character should always have Persuasion just to pass persuasion checks. You should also have a character in the party maxing Thievery just to lockpick and etc. One maxing Lawmaster so you can identify all your gear. But after that, you can kind of pick whatever, and you might think bartering is good for selling all your stuff. You know, you have one guy that carries everything, and then they sell it and they get more money. But in my opinion, Lucky Charm is actually a better investment of points for the simple reason that it can give you items that you can't actually buy, even if bartering makes those items cheaper, and even if you can steal them with a thievery character. To quickly talk about bartering and that effectiveness, you can always respec into it and respec all characters into Thievery at the end of, like, say, Act 2, Reaper's Coast, and just rob hundreds of thousands of gold pieces from everyone, and do that again in Act 3 and Act 4, and you'll have way more money than you actually need for the rest of the game, like, from that point on. Like, it's ridiculous. But, in terms of what you can buy and even steal, like, traders will only ever have the level of loot that your characters are, and also especially early on, like in Fort Joy, traders will never sell you things like legendary amulets or epic amulets or anything like that, so it's really hard to come by a lot of good gear this way. Lucky Charm at lower levels will grant you a chance to get some pretty basic stuff like knockdown arrows or small piles of gold, which I'm not going to go into too much detail about how those level works, but when it's at level 5, you can receive the max benefits, which means you can actually roll for the best possible items you can get for that level that the area is. And it's important to note that the Lucky Charm loot is based on the area level as opposed to your character's level, because if you go into a higher level area, it gives you a chance to roll for the best gear of that level as opposed to your character's level. For example, at level 9, that's when you start getting the pink items. If your character's a level 8 or lower, it doesn't matter. Once you opening containers at a level 9, you can get items that traders won't sell you because you're not level 9 yet, and these are second highest rarity in the game. Same for once you're at level 16, you can get divine items. That's the best rarity in the game. Doesn't matter what level your characters are, you can open up containers in a level 16 area and you will have a chance, especially, particularly if you have level 5 Lucky Charm, you have a chance to get divine items, and these are the highest rarity in the game. And yeah, I mean, even later on you can buy these, but they're limited. You know, you have to buy them out and then let the traders re-roll every hour. So Lucky Charm, again, gives you a chance to get a lot of items that you just can't normally get. So, quickly to explain, it only calculates the highest Lucky Charm in your party. So if you have a character with 5 Lucky Charm and everyone else has a number between 0 and 4, it does not matter. Every time any one of your characters, because it's shared, any one of your characters opens up any container, your guy with 5 Lucky Charm, the highest Lucky Charm, will apply to that opening. So you can have any character in your party with 5 Lucky Charm, just have it maxed, and then your main character can still open stuff as if they have the same level of Lucky Charm. So again, if your main character has Persuasion and you have anyone else in the party with maxed out Lucky Charm, your main character can still do everything with, and you receive both of those benefits, which also makes it really nice. You don't have to micromanage anything, you just open containers normally and you'll have a chance to roll for them. In this game, you really should be opening everything anyway, just free gear, so with Lucky Charm character, you'll just be naturally picking up good loot without having to buy anything. And again, this loot can be better than anything traders will sell you for the first half of the game, and also, if you get anything that's not particularly useful to you, you can just sell it, which will get you more money when it matters anyway. So for this specific example, I'm going to show you what happens when you go straight to Blood Moon Island from the start of Reaper's Coast. You can actually access here from pretty much the start of the act. If you have an undead character, you can actually just beeline to the top left side of the map and take the ferry. Otherwise, all you need to do is the first Mice Deceiver quest and use the ritual to get Spirit Vision, which is something you have to do in this act anyway. And then, assuming you have teleportation and or any leap skills, you can cross the bridge to Blood Moon Island early. Even if you only have one character that can get there, they can go to the waypoint and then all your characters can warp to that waypoint. And from this point, a character with max Lucky Charm will be able to receive the highest level of loot for these areas, which are the pink items, the epics, and these are the second best rarity of item in the entire game, as I've said before. So also, because it's a higher level, the numbers on them, particularly the armor values, are way, way higher than your current level. Like, for example, in this clip, we're level 10. We'll have 4 civil ability points. We can also respec into the talent that gives us the extra one, and we'll be able to have 5 lucky charm. So entering the archives, which requires at least 20 wits. If you don't have this, you can either respec. If you're close, you can use peace of mind. All you need to do now is just click on things and open them. And the character with lucky charm in the party means that every container we open will be rolling for a chance to get gear. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but what I do is save periodically between picking up items, and then if you save right before you open a container that gives you an item, and then you identify the item and it doesn't give you the stats you want, you can quick load that quick save and then open up that container again. It'll give you the same item, but it will have different stats. So I do this until I get an item I want, and then when I know that container there's like 3 or 4 containers ahead of that, I'll open the 3 before that item I'm going to receive, quick save, and now I can open that, identify it, and if it doesn't have the stats I want, quick load, open it, identify it, and just do that until I get basically the stats that I want. And you can spend as long or as little as you want doing this, but I do recommend you get something decent. For example, the armor. I want to make sure this armor has 2 strength and something else that's useful to me. Optimally, you'd want 2 strength, 1 warfare, and then something else, but it's going to take you a long time to roll to get everything perfect, so I settle for 2 strength and 1 pyrokinetic. The pyrokinetic will let me use haste and peace of mind, which are very good. You should always have at least one character in the party that can buff everyone with that. And again, also, if you look at the armor values, this level 15 chest piece, I'm going to actually look at trader after the opening up of items. You'll see that the armor values are literally 3 times higher than level 10 items. So when I go into fights at a level 10, I have way more armor than I should. And because I rolled for good stat benefits, I also have more stats than my character should at this level, regardless of whatever else is going on. And this stuff really adds up if you end up getting a lot of good gear you can equip. Between buying good gear and using this lucky charm gear, your characters will be absolutely stacked. Like, it's just insane. You'll be so far ahead of everything else, it's not even funny. Now, if you get an item you don't want, what I would recommend is actually rolling the last save, exiting the area, re-entering, and then you open the containers in a different order. This works sometimes, it doesn't. I don't know exactly all the details of this. I wish I did so I could lay it all out. But for example, I get a dagger, and I can't use a level 15 dagger without having an extreme accuracy penalty. Ironically, the one thing you don't want when doing this, what I'm doing, is getting a higher level weapon, because you can't use it until you're that level. You get minus 20% accuracy per level. It's higher than you, and yeah, you'll have literally 0 accuracy on that weapon, so you just can't use it. Everything else, however, is extremely good. Again, particularly like the armor chest piece, you will quite literally double the total armor values that you have at the start of Reaper's Coast, like just by equipping one of them. Like, it's stupid. And also, again, the higher rarity stuff like rings, and if you get an amulet at a higher level, these are just like insane. You can get crazy benefits from them, and they're really hard to roll for. Like, no traders will sell you this stuff until you're higher level. It's quite strong to get rings and amulets and stuff through this, because they will pretty much go on any character. You don't need any stats to hold them, and as long as they have good stats on them, they will be extremely useful to you. Now, I will quickly mention here, there are 2 unique items quite early on that will get you a nice boost in Lucky Charm. One of them being the Captain's Dexterous Heals. This is found on Fort Joy. It can be equipped by a finesse character, or any character with enough finesse to equip it. It'll give you 2 Lucky Charm. So if you do that and you have 3 Lucky Charm, you now have 5, and you don't need any more than 5. If you have higher than 5, you're more likely to roll things, but the rarity does not actually increase. It's always capped by 5 and the level you're at. The other unique item is the Captain's Compass. or whatever amulet, whatever it's called, and this you find at the shipwreck outside of Wrecker's Cave, which is the bottom left of the map. And again, you can equip this, and if you just have characters with Lucky Charm going around, whether it's maxed or not, and you just open stuff, you will just get loot. So walking around, especially if you're not doing any fighting, you're just going to open a bunch of stuff. If you know there's like a bunch of stuff you're about to open and no fights are going to happen, just have your Lucky Charm character equipping the Lucky Charm stuff, and then with Lucky Charm over 5, you'll actually be more likely to roll things. At that point, I wouldn't really recommend drinking beer or wine or anything like that. That does increase your Lucky Charm by 2 temporarily, but it's just not worth the effort, and it's not worth consuming all the alcohol. And you run out eventually, and refilling it with cups is kind of annoying. So I would just recommend having a character, whatever you need to do to get 5 or higher Lucky Charm, and then just play the game normally and make sure you're opening things up. Because between all the stuff that you get naturally from containers and the stuff from Lucky Charm, and also from the other stuff you're doing, like actually buying stuff from the gold you get from selling stuff, you will have completely stacked characters, and yeah, half of your gear will be like the best rarity you can get, best stats you can get for your level if you're rolling for gear, and the other half of your gear will be decent gear that's like 5 levels higher than you potentially, which will carry you for several levels. And yeah, so Lucky Charm, very, very good. I recommend, again, main character as Persuasion. You have one character with Lawmaster, one character with Thievery to lockpick everything if you don't have a key. But then your 4th character, instead of like bartering, I would definitely pick Lucky Charm over it. And then if you really are struggling for money, you can always spec into bartering, sell a bunch of stuff at Driftwood Square, and then respec back into this. But I don't think you need to do that. And remember, later on in the game, if you have your characters with max thievery, again, you can respec into that at the end of Reaper's Curse. So say when you're level 16, you just respec everyone to thievery, and then one at a time you rob people with all of your thievery equipment equipped, such as Rucked Muvora, that finesse armor you get from the Dwarf Trader at the entrance of the Under Tavern. There's also the Gloves of Acquisition you can get from Dashing June in Driftwood Square, just outside the square. There's just a dwarf there that says she needs 250 gold for Rymond. Equip that stuff, and then also you can get a Thievery belt from just traders or whatever, and you will have +9 Thievery. With all those characters, you just rob everyone at level 16, one at a time, and you will just end up with literally hundreds of thousands of gold. So don't worry about money and bartering too much. I think that Lucky Charm is a lot better. So that's my video on Lucky Charm. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, see you later.